Hey guys, and welcome to a how to play Toribash tutorial today. Today we're covering the mod maker and the basics of using the mod maker. So it's just the general basics if you want to get into creating mods and playing around with creating new environments, so kind of creating a new feel into the game. We won't be doing anything joints related and creating a new different body for your character, because that's like really advanced confusing shit that only a few people can do. I cannot do that, but but yes, so we're gonna go to the mod maker, and you find this by going to your escape menu, clicking setup, clicking utilities, clicking mod maker, or you can just hold Alt and click M to open up the mod maker, and it will give you this little like screen thing on the side of your screen, on the left side there. And basically you can left click in the background here, and then you can just, you know, like use your A and D or W, S to like move your camera like normal. Sometimes you get tricked and you click one of these slots with the numbers and you end up typing in there for like A, W, S, A, D, like trying to move. But yeah, so just keep in mind you can do that to click around like that. Okay, so first of all, you start off like this, and you'll be with your character. Sometimes you'll be in a different position. If you've already made a mod before, it sometimes like goes into that and kind of like let you re-edit a mod or something. So it sometimes like opens up some random stuff. If you want to reset it quickly, you could always go to your miscellaneous and then click your reset mod, reset players and stuff or whatnot. Sometimes you'll get your characters like turned around. For example, my Yuk or my Tori, or one of the two, was like looking the same direction as the other one, so they were both like the one guy was looking the other guy's back, and it was confusing. So here you go to the advanced tab here, and you just click the player positions, and you just change one of their rotations on the Z to 180, and that will turn them around. Like for example, it was like this by default, and like that made no sense. So you just make it 180, and there we go. So they're both looking at each other now. And you can move them around with this later. I'll show you on. Okay, so your objects. Objects are things you're going to be using to basically, you know, create stuff and make environmental details and whatnot. So you can enable your first one by just clicking the enable button, or sometimes it will just be there at the beginning. So here, you go to your objects, you click enable, there you start off with a cube, a green cube. Everything will be green when you create it at first, so yeah. So first off, we're gonna just talk about the three different things you get for an object. You get the sphere type, you get the box type, and you get a cylinder type, which looks like a pill. Let me just bring this higher up. Okay, so now you can see the box, the sphere, and these all just are like different looks for the object you're creating, to try create different feels. If you want to make like a bush, some people have used the similar type of green ball, added a little bit of transparency and just put it over each other a few times, and it kind of creates like a feel of a authentic bush or whatnot. Sometimes they leave the transparency up though, but it depends. You'll have to play around with it. So we're going to basically be discussing how to use these X, Y, Z values and all these numbers, things that probably look really confusing to you at this time if you don't really understand how a 3D plane works. So yeah, first thing is your position. This is the position where the object is right now, and it's usually right in the middle of the object. So if I make, for example, the height here, the Z is the height. If I make it 0, it will be like in the middle of the ground. See, like half of it above the ground, half of it underground. Whereas the thing says it's like directly on the ground, but that's only the middle point of the object. So I'm just going to keep it up in the sky just to make things easier. The Y position is between Tori and Yuk. So oh my god, I'm trying to use the camera in that time. So it's between these two guys. So when you change the Y value, it will either move that way or that way. So let's see here. If I add 1, you see it moves towards Tori. I've got my camera the other way around, so you can see if you add 1, it goes up this way. If you add minus, it goes down this way. So just think of it that way. With Tori's side, it goes that way. If it's Yuk's side, if it's a minus, it goes that way. So if I make it -2, it should go behind you. See? There we go. So that's simple enough. X obviously is the opposite one, and this makes it go sideways. Like so, within like parallelness to to the arms of both Tori and Yuk currently, and you can just move it across like that way. So you can see it goes left when you do it that way if you're looking from Tori's angle, and if you add off a minus, it should go the opposite way. It would probably make more sense to look at it this way, because then having Tori there, so the minus is on Tori's left side from this side, and then Tori's right side from adding a plus sign. So yeah, you just have to get used to it, which direction it's going, and get a feel for the 3D dimensional plane and whatnot. So yeah, let's put it back in the middle. Okay, okay, so now we're gonna work with the scale. The scale kind of works exactly the same way. X is the horizontal thing, so you can make it like as big as you want. You can type in 100 if you want to. You can, like, then you have this like really long ass fucking beam that has no purpose in life, which is pretty funny. So let's make it 0.5 again, the default. And Y is obviously between Tori and Yuke again, so you'll get like, bam, there we go. Between them, I'm gonna put 0.5. And then the Z is obviously the height value again, like how tall it is. So if I make it 1, it will go like taller. So there we go. Basically like creating a pole or a pillar or whatnot. And yeah, that kind of works like that. Rotation is a little bit weird. It's kind of tricky to understand because rotation is always tricky because there's 3 different rotation planes, and it does get a little like what the hell's going on type of this. So I'm just going to use 45 so it doesn't like end up looking exactly the same because it's a cube if I type 90. So basically X is now between Tori and Yuke. So that is the confusing thing. X is now somehow not horizontal, but between Tori and Yuke. So they kind of swap between like how the positioning and the scale works. So yeah, it's a little tricky. Y is the same way as the horizontal plane now. So yeah, you gotta kind of get used to that and think of it that way. So it might confuse you a few times. So like, how the hell is this working? Your Z is a tricky one. I don't even know how this actually works. Okay, no, it's that way. Okay, so it's like just a roundabout. Okay, yeah. I was like just confused for a second. So it's basically just a round, like if it's spinning. So yeah, just consider it as it's spinning. So your Z makes a spin, your Y makes the X of the positioning between like perpendicular to, well, not perpendicular, parallel to your Tori's arms and stuff, so horizontally, and your X is between the two, so it will spin like over like that, and your Y is like that, and your Z is like around. Pretty confusing. Your coloring system is the most annoying part because you're gonna have to actually go onto the internet to search for these colors and stuff to get the actual values for what you want. You're gonna have to look up your colors in a certain type of way. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. For using your coloring system, you're going to have to use a website similar to Color Picker, or if you know another one that you prefer using, you can use that. I'll put this link in the description if you want to use this one, because it's very helpful and you can get all the colors you need in all the numbers you need it for. So basically all you have to do is go in here, you can slide this up and down, like if you want a reddish color, if you want a purplish color, and then you can pick like this, like how dark it is. You want it more on the whiter side, you want it really dark, or you want it like on a blackish side, or a really green side, or whatnot like that. So you can just position this around to what color you want, and then you'll be taking these 3 values on the bottom right here, the R, the G, and the B. The R is standing for red, the G stands for green, the B stands for black. I mean blue. Lol, black. Really, ConCon? Okay, fuck you. And so for getting your colors right, you're going to have to use a external website or something where you can get color values in a simplistic way that you can use like right off the bat. So what I'm using is colorpicker.com. I'll put this link in the description because it's a really great thing to use, especially if you're working with anything that has color and you need to get certain color values or whatnot. So you're going to be using these 3 values on the right side here. Keep that in mind. The R, the G, and the B. The red, the green, the blue. And you'll see in the game there is R, G, B, and A. The A is alpha and transparency to make things see-through and whatnot. So you basically should know how that works. But we're going to need to recolor our object to a certain thing. Let's say we're making a sky-like object for no apparent reason. We're going to use a bluish color, and we're going to go around and let's take a nice light blue there. You're going to see there's a 142, a 232, and a 250. These are the values we're going to be typing in game. So yeah, you'll be using this a lot if you want to get coloring right and correct in what colors you want to use. So let's head back on into game and type these values in. The 1, the 4, the 2, the 232, and the 250. Okay, so we're back in game here, and we're going to type those values in just as we sorted. So it was 142, 232, and 250. And we'll get that nice blue color, that light blue skyish feel. And you'll see there's also the alpha here. Basically, at 250 is when it's fully visible. 0 means it's invisible, like you cannot see it. It is gone right now. They put a small little outline there to show you where the object is. It doesn't look like that in game. In game, it will literally just be like if it was here. Like it will look like it, like there's nothing there, kind of thing. So that's pretty simple. You could also just click the visible thing, so you can just kind of opt the transparency through that way. You can also make it so it's like half transparent, so you can still see through it, but there's still like a bluish tinge in the air, and you can see like a bluish random ghost square still living there. So that's kind of weird and and creepy. So yeah, basically that's pretty much how that works. If you make all these values 255, it goes white. If you make them all 0, it will go black, and that's pretty much how that works, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's head on to mass. Mass is basically how heavy the object is. Like even if it was like huge, like I mean like over all these people, you can make it weigh the same amount as a Tic Tac or something, and like your toys can like kick it and it will just fly up into the sky, which is pretty funny if you actually do that, where you make a huge object and like it's lighter than a feather, and toys can like knock it around as if it was a feather. But you can also make a small tiny little thing like on top of someone and make it like heavy, like a freaking earth, and it will just like fall through these people and crush them into the ground. It will even go underground because it's so heavy for a bit. Might even crash your game because it seriously does put strain on your processing stuff when you put these numbers at really awkward positionings. Yeah, because that's English. As for your triggers, I have not actually used these, but I do know what they're used for. Basically, these are to make things like where if they touch this object, right? If, like, let's say Tori comes here and touches this object will do something. It will do something to the game. Usually it's one of these 4 actions here. Usually it's like none. I don't even know why this is an option, because then you could just have this off, because that's weird. The other action for you, this makes Tori win. When Tori touches or Yuke touches this thing here, Tori will win the game instantly. If it was Yuke, that means Yuke wins the game instantly if they touch it. If they touch it and it's on draw, that means the game will end in a draw right on the spot. So it's cool if you want to make like a little race thing. Like let's say you make an online running race, and this guy has to run across there and that guy has to run across there, and whoever runs to the other side quickest and touches their cube, they win the match, kind of thing. So like you can make like interesting mods working with these type of trigger systems. And of course they have different color settings for when they get touched. They will change color to something else if you want, and yeah, usually they by default turn black, it seems. And there's also sounds, trigger sounds. I don't know what these sounds are, but 0 is for nothing. So if you type 1 or 2 or 3 or something, they probably make some weird ass sounds to make it kind of have a different feel, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, joint objects. I honestly have nothing or no knowledge about it. I have no idea how this works. I'm assuming this works with either actual joints or like joint objects, which is like what it says, lol, like where objects are joined to each other, which I'm not sure how to do that stuff, but that's more on the advanced side. You won't really be needing that. One thing you do need to know is the match rules for your game. You're probably going to want to dismember off. You're probably going to want to change your gravity depending on what type of mod you're creating. You can change your match frames and all the usual stuff. The distance between Tori and Yuke. Most of the time this gets overrun by the actual settings that we already put over here, because you can move your player position anywhere over the map, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk about object settings in advanced here, because you're going to need to know this, because by default objects are just going to fall to the ground. Let me show you here. If I just do it, the object over there is just going to fall to the ground, and what if you want it to stay in the air there, like it's not going to move at all? That's what we're going to talk about now. You're going to go back to edit here, and we're going to go click our object. We're going to make sure it says environment object 1, because that's the one we're working on. You can add bounce basically this makes it so the moment it touches the ground, it can come back up again, which is pretty funny. You don't want to put this at a really high value because that's gonna like go crazy. So like slowly go upwards, maybe make it 1 or 0.9 or something, or just keep it around there and just see how it goes, how much it bounces, because sometimes it like insane numbers like friction, like 10,000 friction, like what? That's a crazy number. So if you make that 0, it would like just slide across the floor like it's an ice cube, which is pretty cool. That actually might be an interesting mod, like an ice skating mod. Hey, someone make that would be fucking cool. I'd play an ice skating mod, seriously. Like you make skates on their feet and then you make them have a rink. Someone do that now. I'll pay for that. Okay, so thrust is basically in a way it's like how much force it's using in a direction, and like how much it's it's gonna speed off into a direction for a while, I believe. Or is that force? I'm not sure. Both of these do the same thing. One of them I think just only does it for a short while. The other one does it for like constantly. So yeah. So basically it just makes an object move in a certain direction by itself. Like you can make it fly to the sky, you can make it fly towards your own character, your Tori, and push him backwards, and he has to like tug of war it and push it like run into it and like while it's flying into him, and kind of weird concept, but ultimately it will probably end up pushing Tori backwards a lot. One very important thing that you need to keep in mind is the 3 states objects can come in, and you're gonna really need to check these when you make your objects, because sometimes if you forget, you can have your whole mod like be all freaking weird, and you're like, what happened? And then you're gonna need to fix it by doing this on like a bunch of objects, which I had to do previously. So basically there's the weapon one. The weapon setting basically makes this object insta-give. Basically think of it as a katana sword or a twin sword hand thing. Like anything that touches this, or like joint wise, will be broken off and like shattered if they smash that thing, and like it will just kill the person who touches it. That's basically what a weapon does. It turns it into a weapon. Pretty obvious. Static leaves the object, whoops, that I mentioned you can click and drag, but it does not work too great. But yeah, so the positioning is all like messed up now, but yeah, so basically static will leave it in its place, meaning when you start the match, like this block will not fall down, it will not fly away. When Yuka or someone kicks it, it will stay in this location forever. You cannot move it. You can like have another big ass building fly into this. This object is not moving. It is basically bedrock, like if this was Minecraft or something. It's not going anywhere. So that's what static does. It makes something static. Basically, it's not going anywhere. Other thing is no grip. This means that players cannot grip this. Sometimes if you have like a parkour mod or whatever, sometimes you want a platform or a climbing wall where players can grab onto the wall to climb. Sometimes maybe you want them to not cheat and like climb over or use a grab to do some like monkey things or whatever. I don't know, just basically it makes them so they can't grab the object or whatnot. So usually sometimes people put this on or put it off. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But usually you can grab everything, so by default. If you want everything to stay static, like you would probably want if you're building a whole background and you don't want it to bounce off the ground and fly into the sky for no reason, you're going to want to click static on your first one, and then when you go onto your second object by just typing number 2 there, and just click somewhere else, you're gonna have to add static all the time, I think. Yeah, that's probably gonna suck. Why is it not letting me? Why is it not letting me? Do I have to go here? Oh, enable. Yeah, okay. And then go there and put it on static. Usually you should actually start here and then go there or something. I don't know. There was one way we could find it where it could be static all the time, but I don't seem to have found it now. So yeah. Let me just go disable this one, and we're gonna go back to object number 1 that we've been working on and take it off static. So basically, let's move on to one of our last things. Yeah, so let's put this in mind here. Player positioning. This is something that's extremely strong within the game, and it can be used in a lot of different ways. So, for example, I'm gonna make this thing like a platform over there, and now we're gonna position our character on top of this by just moving him. No, Yuke is gonna stay right over there. So we're gonna go like that, and we're gonna move ourselves up here. We might need to go a little bit more. This is where you gotta really play with your numbers and do some magic. Let's see, it's gonna maybe 3. Yeah, it's a little too high, but let's make it 1.25. That should be fine. And now you can see we're standing on an object in the sky, and let's make the object static, and you can see if we test this now, I'm standing on this like thing in the sky, and Yuka's like below me, and he's not doing anything, and I can just like, you know, just do stuff. I can just like facepalm it and do whatnot, and just, you know, just chill. I'm just chilling, just hanging out. Okay, and that's pretty much how you can move things around and move your character around. I should also mention that it does work kind of the same way, whereas your Y value moves you upwards. I mean, no wait, what am I saying? Your Y value moves you away from your opponent. Z is always upwards. Z is always upwards, so I can like be like extremely high in the sky right there, and like just randomly start from over there, and then I can also be weird and add rotation and do it the different way. So rotation works really weird as well, because it does some really messed up stuff, and it's gonna confuse the crap out of you. So X is basically your like over your character towards your opponent. This is basically like how the object rotates. If I go to my object again, remember the X rotation rotates it towards Yuke, and you can see it like that. It rotates like that. It also works the same way with your Y. Your character basically now goes around this way, as if he was like doing cartwheels. That's how he would be doing it, horizontally, basically. Yeah, he's rotating horizontally. And let me just take that off so it looks more, make more sense of it. See, he's gonna rotate. You can like just do it in all different types of things. Make him start sideways for no apparent reason in the sky, which is very creepy, actually. The other one that you're gonna really want to be careful with is something that can really mess up your character, and it's something that's kind of annoying that it is not in the game, like it doesn't function properly, is that character rotate. Oh crap, next page, go to next page, advanced. We're working with me still here. So character rotation, if you want to rotate your character to face, let's say I want him to look in the direction where Yuke's arm is pointing, you cannot do that. If you try rotate by 90 degrees, it worked. What? Last time I tried this, it didn't work. What the fuck? Wait. Okay, maybe it's only 90 degrees. I don't know. Wait, what the hell's the other one? 270? Yeah. Okay, that's weird. Shit. Mine didn't do that last time. That's odd. Maybe it was like the mod I was in or something. But one thing you cannot do is have like 45, because then it's gonna work perfectly. What the fuck? What? I don't understand. This used to not work. This used to like mess things up. Like seriously, like I did this the other day, and like it turned all my joints facing that way. Like literally I had like backwards feet and my ass was in front of my crotch. I was like, what's going on? This is not right. But maybe it's fixed. I don't know. Or maybe there's a certain time that it doesn't work or something. I really no idea. This is surprising to me. I did not know that they had this. Let me try 30, 31. Oh my god, it still works. Maybe they fixed it. I don't know. Jesus, what? Okay, so apparently you can rotate it around perfectly now as well. So they basically work the same rotation system as it does for the objects with the characters. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's basically it, guys. Now you're probably going to want to save your mod, and currently the thing has a problem with saving your mod. You have to make a certain folder in your installation folder, and once you have that folder, you can start saving mods. So basically, you're going to want to go to your Toribash folder. Inside your mod folder, you're going to want to make a new folder and call it mod maker, like it's written over here, mod maker. Let me just remove the TBM. You want this folder inside your mod folder, inside your Toribash installation folder, and then you can just name your mod whatever you want, like con on platform. Platform, yeah, let's make it like some weird shit like that, and then you can click export, and okay, yeah, there we go. It's exported to data mod maker, and it will be in that folder, and then you can try it and load it and do whatnot. And I can go like setup mods. That's mod maker. Let me just scroll down. Mod maker. There it is. And you can see I've done a few tests on things of making things before. We can load it here. Basically, it loads it because we already had it. And now there's this mod where I'm on a platform in the sky doing nothing with normal default graphics, I mean not graphics, gravity, and it's kind of like floaty a bit, so yeah, you might want to change your gravity to 30 or around sometimes and play around with different settings. So that's how the basics of ModMaker works. So try it out, make something cool, do something interesting, make an ice rink, and show me, and I will love you forever if it's cool. So yeah, thanks guys, see you later.